think I finally figured it out. I think. Let me know. Are you actually seeing and hearing me? What a nightmare this was. Let me know if you can see me, hear me, any of those things. Anybody who's down there. Oh, finally. That was a nightmare. Here's the situation. I set up a new webcam, and then I didn't have the information going into my computer properly. Oh, what a nightmare. So anyway, it's all good now. I think we're, one of these days I'm going to have the brains and the forethought to sit down maybe a half hour ahead of time. I always plop down as though I know what I'm doing. Well, that's a terrible, I should have learned by now. I'm 52 years old. Many situations I've plopped down in having no sense of what I'm doing. And it goes terribly wrong, At what point, maybe when I'm 72, will I have the forethought to go, maybe give yourself 20 minutes to see if you can figure this out. Anyway, I got the new, my apologies to everybody I was 7 minutes tardy, 6 or 7 minutes tardy. My humblest apologies. I know your time is valuable. I appreciate you jumping on the TheButtpod here for the live stream. So yeah. So anyway, now we're going. I'm just going to quickly check a couple of things before we dive into the questions. I want to make sure that I have some things set up properly. Number one is, no, I don't think, no. See, what I wanted to do is I wanted to have a bunch of these little things set up so that I could, the little graphics that pop up on screen. I had it working when I was using the webcam on my laptop. And I thought I had it working today. Anyway, it's not working. It's because I'm not using the OBS software. That's probably, right? Is that the situation? It looks like I am using it. I don't know what the situation is. Smart, why don't I have a staff? I should hire some really smart 26-year-old who knows what all this stuff does. Anyway, so we don't have the graphics up, but you can see me, you can hear me, so we can do live streaming. We're 2 minutes into it. Let's dive into some questions, because my plan is to be here for all of about a half an hour. All right, so we have some folks from all over the place here who just want to start firing off questions, and I'll start answering. Any chance of another Corner Gas movie? Asks R.K. O'Neill. Slim to none. I don't think doing another Corner Gas movie is a good idea. I know people want it. A lot of people want it. I get that question a lot. But you run the risk of sullying and souring something that was good. The series was good. The movie was good. Everybody liked it. The more times you go back to the well, the more times you're going to get a sour sip, right? So, and where all eyes are on the Corner Gas animated now. That's what we're focusing on, and your response to that has been fantastic. Thank you to everybody who watches Corner Gas animated. But it's very unlikely we're going to do another movie. A big part of that is because, sadly, Janet passed away, who played Emma in the live-action show and the movie. In Corner Gas animated, Corinne Coslow was a good friend of Janet's, who was recommended by Janet's husband, actually, now plays the role of Emma. But, yeah, I just don't think it's a long answer, long-winded answer for, should have just said no. I don't think so. It's not going to happen. Oh, Nancy's coming in. Hello. See you later. Are you taking off? People always say, oh, they can just see you on the edge of the frame. They can see the door opening. Poke your head in. Come here and say hello to people really quickly. She's just scramming. There's the monitor. I thought I had this all set up better.
Hi. I can't see anything. I don't have my glasses on. I can't read. I'm looking at the wrong monitor. You think I should know where to look. Anyways, I hope everybody's having a really terrific Sunday. Bye.
All right. See you later. One of these days, I'll be able to convince Nancy to sit down with me for live, at least for a portion of one of these. But she's off. She's got things to do. She's scrambling. Is all of us going here? Yeah, all of us moving away. Okay. And everybody's saying, you rock, Nancy. Hi, Nancy. I'll pass this all along to her later. Joanne Baudouin says, do you think you would do a show here in Washington State? And hi, Nancy. Yeah, I would love to. Currently, right now, I don't have the proper paperwork, the visas and all that kind of stuff for me to work in your fine country of the United States of America. But so I have to continue working in Canada of America for now. And yeah, but one of these days, we're going to, I think we're going to work on putting a tour together down in the States so we can get the proper visa and everything. The Canadian Girl 4 says, what do you think of the Leafs versus Boston game last night? I didn't watch it. Well, that's not fair. I watched a portion of it. I was not pulling for a Boston victory, of course. I would love to see Toronto advance. They're in tough, though. Boston is a scrappy team with a lot of talent. They pass the puck so fast. That's what you got to deal with when you're playing the Bruins. Like, Toronto has a lot of young talent, high level of skill. But the thing that Boston has over most other teams is that passing, bang, 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 and that's a difficult thing to deal with. But anyway, long story short, I'm pulling for the Leafs in this scenario. I'm a Canucks fan, of course, but I'm not one of these Canucks fans that hates the Leafs. I'm fond of all the Canadian teams. I just want my Canucks to win the Cup sometime in my lifetime. Sizzle to Spin, coming near Thunder Bay for stand-up. That is actually in the works. That's being discussed at this red hot second. Thunder Bay, North Bay. I'm doing a run through Ontario. So if you go to Brent.com, there's a button there that says See Brent Live. I will be posting all my tour dates when those get confirmed, if they do get confirmed. That's where I always put my stand-up tour dates. So if you have any stand-up related questions, that's where to go with them to get them answered. I'm trying to talk and figure something else out over here. I'm going to see, here's the issue. I feel like I have two screens going right now. I feel like I have the OBS stream and the YouTube direct stream going. The OBS stream is where I have the graphics. It actually looks better than the YouTube stream. But okay, let me see. I want to try one thing here. Well, I don't think, just bear with me, folks. I'll be 20 seconds. Yeah. So I'm going to try stopping the OBS stream, and we'll see if the YouTube one keeps going. If I lose you, I apologize in advance, and I will try to get it going again. But I fully don't expect you to stick around so that you can share in my incompetence. Okay, we're stopping this. We're stopping the OBS stream for now. But it appears the YouTube stream is still going. Okay. Let's see. Ashlyn Chalmers asks, when does season 2 of Corner Gas Animated come out? I'm unable to pass that information on right now. I believe I know the date, but until it gets 100% confirmed by the network executives, I am legally verboten from saying when I think it's going to go. But I believe we have the date. Again, if you follow me on Twitter or Instagram, which is just @BrentButt, then we will, I'll be announcing. I'll be shouting it loud and lots, believe you me. But I think we have the date. I think we know when it is. So stay tuned for that. Jeff Farrell says, need to be more smarter, huh? That is true. I do need to be more smarter. That's a reference, for those of you who may not know, in my audio podcast, TheButtpod, which you can find at TheButtpod.com, or most places where you get your audio podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, iTunes, those kind of places. You can find TheButtpod. One of the segments on the podcast is a more smarter segment where I ask my guests and people to submit little bits of trivia information that I wouldn't otherwise probably be aware of, thereby making me incrementally, week by week, more smarter. Now, I say week by week, that's a bit of a pipe dream because I haven't been doing the audio podcast every week. Been too busy with the production duties on Corner Gas Animated. So I think the last one was over a month ago. But anyway, if you hop on to wherever you get your podcasts, you look up the Buttpod, you can see it, and you hit subscribe or follow or whatever the local service asks you to do, you will be aware next time I post a podcast. This handle's just a jumble of numbers and letters, but they ask, have you ever visited Finland? Outside big cities, it seems to be very similar to Dog River. I've never been to Finland. I want to go to Finland. I like the idea of doing a little run through that whole Northern Europe area. Finland, Norway, Sweden, Switzerland. We went to Denmark, went to Copenhagen. Somewhere on this TheButtpod YouTube channel, you can see a video where Nancy and I went to Copenhagen. We did Lisbon, Copenhagen, and London on the trip, and I made a video from each of those places. So one of these days, I'm definitely going to go to Finland. Jay LaFontaine says, where can I purchase autographed corner gas animated pictures? I don't know. I don't have any direct resource to them. I know that there are people out there, anytime you go to an event, like you go to the Canadian Screen Awards or the Junos or whatever, there's always people that line up and they have pictures of you and they want you to sign them and you autograph them. And 9 out of 10 of those end up being for sale somewhere. So I don't know, if you look on YouTube or you look on eBay or places like that, some people do have them for sale. Susie B asked, what program do you use to edit your tour videos? I really enjoy how you cut them together. I just use iMovie that comes on my laptop. That's the only editing software I use. I have Final Cut Pro, but I never use it. I just pop up the iMovie. It does everything I need to do. So really, it comes down to, it's all about, I think, editing style, as opposed to what software I use, because it's pretty nuts and bolts in terms of technically what I'm doing. It's just, what am I shooting, what angles? I throw up graphics. I create graphics in Adobe Illustrator, and I throw those up on there. And I try to make the video fun and visually pleasing to get people to stick around. The response has been fantastic too. What they call the audience retention, on YouTube, is very good. So I'm very pleased with that. And the trick is to translate video viewer retention to subscribers. If you're not subscribed here to the TheButtpod channel, by the way, feel free to do so. I had a snazzy graphic I thought I had all planned up where I could spin it up on here and it would say, subscribe now, click the little bell notification so you're alerted every time I post a new video. But anyway, none of the graphics, clearly we've seen none of the graphics are now working. But anyway, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. And spread the word and tell your friends about the TheButtpod YouTube channel. Who came up with the corner G and the rub? Asks, just clicked away, asks Dr. Hockey. Who came up with the corner G and the rub cup? Well, I wrote that into the episode that they, in that episode where Lacey and Brent were trying to get some promotional mugs done. And they were fighting over corner gas and Ruby, what side would they be on? They put them on the same side, and anyway, it was too big, and it just came up. I thought corner G and the rub was a funny thing. So I came up with that. Anyway, Sam Radochin says, hello from Australia, Brent. Hope you come here sometime soon. I was in Vancouver on February 28th. Missed your shows, sadly. Well, that's too bad. Thanks for making the trip, though, over here to Canada, Vancouver. I've been to, I went to Australia once, the Melbourne Comedy Festival. Had a hell of a good time. Pouring rain, though, the whole lot, but I'd love to get back to Australia. Stephen Tredgett says, how good are you at the Spider-Man pinball? Want a challenge? The old Spider-Man pinball. The old Gottlieb, 1981. I can't remember the year. 80 or 81 Spider-Man Gottlieb pinball game. I'm not particularly good at it. I don't have the high score on it. A buddy of mine from my hometown breezed into town, came over to the house, played one game of that, and got the high score. Nobody's been able to beat it. So, well, that's pretty jerky. Listen, if you come over to somebody's house and they have a pinball game, tank it. Don't do well and get the high score. Have a little concern for their feelings. That was my buddy Garth who did that. Maybe he's watching. I don't know. Let's see, what else? Hello from Missouri. Hello, Alex Wiggs from Missouri. Alex Wiggs from Missouri asks, do you prefer a deer hair popper over a cork popper? I don't know what any of that means. I don't believe, popper-wise, I have any particular preference. On account of, I don't know what the deuce of popper is. Is it pinball lingo? Because we were talking about pinball. Hello from an Alaskan living in Las Vegas. There's some culture shock. Alaska to Vegas. Those aren't what you'd call sister communities. Very different. Let's see, what else we have going on here? Hello from Charlotte, North Carolina. Todd Joaquim says, why are so many TV shows and movies filmed in Vancouver? There's a lot of reasons for that. One, the proximity to Los Angeles is very close, a 2.5-hour flight. You're back and forth, so it's easy. It's on the same time zone as the Hollywood mega studios, so the business is done in the same. We have a lot of diverse geography here. We have the ocean. We have virtual desert, not far from Vancouver. We have rainforest, lush rainforest. We have mountains and rocks, and we have prairie farmland just outside of Vancouver in the Lower Mainland. So it has it's a diverse geography. So visually, it can be what you want it to be, as well as a major urban downtown center. So you have that. BC film tax credits are quite good. The Canadian dollar versus the American dollar, that gives producers a bit of a fiscal incentive to come shoot in Canada. The crews are top notch. The film service crew people in Toronto are as good as anywhere in the world. So there's a lot of different factors. We have good infrastructure here and good geography and good film tax credits. But yeah, it's the third largest production center in North America, outside of California and New York. Vancouver's third. Yolanda Barnes asks, have you considered working with Amy Smart again? How is she as a person? Nice? Bitchy? Just curious because I like No Clue. I would absolutely consider working with Amy Smart again. She was whatever the opposite of bitchy is. She was fantastic to work with. She was in a good mood every day on set and joking around with the cast and crew. Couldn't have been nicer. That was my first time meeting her and working with her, and she just couldn't have been nicer. So in a red hot second, I would work with her again. And thank you for watching No Clue, the movie. For those of you who haven't, feel free to dial that up. It's available on iTunes. No Clue, rent that. It's a comedy mystery thriller that I wrote and star in. Boger, do you have a specific preference of mincemeat, frank and bun for chili cheese dogs in real life? I mean, not particularly. I've had a lot of different kinds of varying combos to make a chili cheese dog, and the very worst one that I've ever eaten was fantastic. So it's all good. David Renicky asks, why has Oscar stopped saying jackass in the animated version of Corner Gas? He hasn't. We just, you use it sparingly. You're not going to have the guy say it 8 times an episode, right? We try to use it organically. It comes up when it comes up, but we absolutely have not stopped. That's Oscar's, hook. That's his phrase. He's going to be saying jackass plenty. Don't you worry about that. Let's see. Hello from Phoenix, Arizona, says Michelle Leonard. Hello. Hello, Phoenix. Canton, Ohio. More people coming in from the States. Corner Gas Animated has been doing Corner Gas live action has been doing so well in the States. The response to people has been fantastic. So thank you for that. It's available outside of Canada. It streams on Amazon Prime Video. And the response has just been way huger than anybody expected. So thank you to all the viewers out there who watch it on Amazon Prime outside of Canada. Here in Canada, of course, it's available to stream on Crave TV, and it airs on the Comedy Network. But outside of Canada, Amazon Prime. So, and then, like I said, the response in the States has been fantastic. Hello from Moncton, New Brunswick. Let's see, there's Oliver scrolling by. I'm going to have to do the old, take a moment to let Oliver out. Okay, hang tight. Here I come, buddy. So really what that means is we're going to be, I was going to say we're going to hear him barking in 4 seconds. He didn't wait. He didn't let me finish the sentence. What he's got to do is he's got to go out and tell the world, listen, back off. I'm here. Don't be coming into this yard. Right? He's very, he's dropping the hammer. Do you still love Salisbury House? Oh, I do, asks Pixel Guardian. Do you still love Salisbury House? Oh, I love it. For those of you not in the know, in Winnipeg, is it other places in Manitoba or just Winnipeg? Anyway, I've only ever had it in Winnipeg, I think. It's a chain, a local chain of burger joints. And there's something about the Salisbury burgers. Oh man, alive! Fantastic. I should be getting I should get some kind of. I should turn this into my advantage. Like give Sal's to send me something, some coupons. Let's see. Yes, somebody says they've heard Oliver in the ButtPod audio podcast. It's nice to see him. Throughout the podcast, he comes and goes. He's scratching at the door all the time. And I don't bother editing that out because it takes 4 seconds to let him in and out. So people roll with it. Let's see. Back to the questions. How long have I been doing this now? 20 minutes. Another 10, maybe 15. I can go. Let's see. Ann C says, my last name is Cheeseman, and the kids called me Cheesehead, Cheeseball, Cheeseface, Pizza Face. Well, that was for a different reason. How was your childhood? Love corn and gas. My childhood was terrific. I wouldn't change a thing. If you're referencing the fact that my last name is Butt, growing up, Butt was a very common name in my hometown. So the notion that it was unusual or strange or weird never dawned on me because there was 1,000 of us in this small town. I'm from a family of 7, and there's cousins and aunts and uncles. Right on Main Street, Tisdale, there was a sign. My cousin had a store there, Butt Jewelry. So if you know there's a family named Butt, you think nothing of that. But I always imagine people driving through town with Butt Jewelry. What would you want that for? But anyway, so it wasn't until I started playing hockey and going to other towns and you have your name on the back of your sweater and you hear people yell stuff from the stands. And I go, oh yeah, it does mean that too. So I never had a hard time from it growing up. Let's see. Homage to Gordo, I think so. Do you hang out with Michael Eckford and or Fiona Forbes, or did you just have great rapport when you guested on their shows? Yeah, we don't hang out in real life, but they're both terrific people. They're not working together anymore. They're both doing their own thing, but they're still good friends, good pals. But yeah, they're just nice people. They were very easy to go on that show, Urban Rush, here in Vancouver. It was an afternoon talk show, and they were really good at what they did, and they put their guests at ease, and they both have a good sense of humor. So we had a lot of fun joking back and forth. Terrific people. Let's see here. Screaming Old Man says, favorite scene in Corner Gas, Wanda suddenly appears at the window in the Pink Eye episode. Outstanding. Yes, that was very good. It was a very highly dramatic, we filmed that scene like a horror movie. It was a lot of fun. That's one of my favorite episodes to watch. Directed by Jeff Beasley, Saskatchewan director from Moose Jaw. Yeah, somebody says in relation to butt jewelry, nose rings, tongue rings, why not butt rings? Why not? I can tell you a lot of reasons why not. You should be able to figure out a few of your own why not reasons. Tom Wheatley asks, what kind of jobs did you do before comedy? A few different things. I made a living drawing as a graphic artist. I was a cartoonist and illustrator and did, kind of graphic art design. I worked for my brother for a little while. My brother has a sign company in Calgary called Big Print Signs. And I worked for him and his wife designing signs that they would then make and doing little cartoon characters for them. I also sold advertising for a magazine, and I did artwork for that magazine. And I ran the dark room of a newspaper, of a weekly newspaper in Melfort, Saskatchewan, the Melfort Journal, and did artwork for them as well. And I also worked a little while as a drywaller. I wasn't a particularly skilled drywaller, but I worked as a drywaller. The drywaller that I worked for didn't seem to care very much about the quality of the work. That was good. His mind was elsewhere. I doubt if he's still in the drywall business because he seemed like his heart wasn't in it, and he certainly didn't care that I wasn't very good at it. So anyway, those are some of the jobs. In high school, from high school to I started when I was 15 and worked until I quit high school a little bit after, a year after or so. I worked at a grocery store called the OK Economy. The OK Economy in ShopRite stores. Let's see. Zach Disbrow says, "Do you ever hang out with the kids in the hall, guys?" Well, we don't. We live in different cities, so no. But when we get like I had Kevin McDonald was a guest on the Butt Pod. You can watch that video here, and you can listen to that. It's a very funny episode of the Butt Pod with Kevin McDonald from Kids in the Hall. But you can see the little promo video somewhere on here on the Butt Pod YouTube channel. I like all the guys. I used to, when I lived in Toronto, I would hang out with Dave Foley a little bit. But yeah, we're spread out. We're all over the place now. So I think Oliver wants to come back in. He kind of he's standing outside the door, but he's looking back at the yard barking. I'll see if he wants to come in. Hold tight. You coming in again, pal? What's going on? You vanquished the enemy? Excellent work. Good job, buddy. Okay, I'm very pleased with himself. Very proud of himself. We're live. You're live, pal. See if I can put that down to me. There he is. Hey, Oliver, look up here. Look at the folks. Look up here. Up here, buddy. That's where I'm pointing. Oh, now you just think somebody's here. Probably screwed that all up, didn't I? Yeah. Okay. Yes, buddy. We'll be going in soon. How long have I been talking now? 26 minutes. Let's put on 5 questions. We'll answer 5 more questions, and then we'll wrap this up. Hello from Utah. Hello, Utah. Kyle Ramsey has asked have you ever visited Cape Breton? I have not, but I want to. I want to go to Cape Breton. Very funny comedian from Cape Breton named Brad Muse, who now lives in Calgary, but he's a very funny comedian. If you ever get a chance to see Brad Muse, M-U-I-S-E, very funny dude. See here. Jellywins1 asks, what happened to the cars used in corner gas? Well, the police car was owned by somebody locally there who rents vehicles to the movie and TV industry. My car, the car that my character drove, the Oldsmobile Cutlass, that was owned by our transportation head, the head of our transportation department. His aunt owned that, so she still has that. Hank's truck, I don't know. I think that's just sitting on a farm somewhere. I can't answer where all the vehicles are. Will we see stand-up in Southern California, asks Jeff T. Well, stand-up is, there's all kinds of stand-up down there in Southern California. It's a hotbed for it. If you're looking for stand-up, you can see it. All right, if you're talking about me personally, I hope so. Like I said, we're going to try and arrange a bit of a tour, a bit of I'll play some comedy clubs throughout the States, maybe as part of a promotional push to push Corner Gas Animated if and when we get a broadcast deal for the States, which I think is going to happen. It's looking good, I think. So stay tuned for that. Again, go to BrentButt.com, click the See Brent Live, or just follow me on Twitter and Instagram at BrentButt. I also have a Facebook page that I put stuff up on. I'll tell you, I'm not very active on Facebook, but I do throw information up on there. Official Brent Butt. I believe I own the Brent Butt one, but I don't have I lost the password for it because I'm never on Facebook. So I had to create a new one. Anyway, Official Brent Butt is my Facebook presence. Michelle Leonard asks, has Corner Gas ever been compared to any American comedies? Sometimes I get hints of Gilmore Girls, Seinfeld. We hear Seinfeld a lot. Hilariously quirky people. Yay for the tour. Come to Phoenix. I'd love to come to Phoenix. Warm, hot. It's hot there, I understand. But yeah, so I've heard Seinfeld a lot because it's a show about very little that minutia gets blown up into big things. And Gilmore Girls, I've actually heard that a couple times. I never watched Gilmore Girls, so now I'm curious. I've heard it enough times that I'm going to go back and see. I might start watching some Gilmore Girls. Stella Deskin asks, could you say hello to my father, Nathan Deskin? He's a huge fan. No, of course I will. Hello, what's his name? Nathan? Did you say his name was Nathan? Yeah. Hello, Nathan. Thanks for being a fan. It's much appreciated. Now, Stella, is Nathan on here? Or are you just going to relay it to him? Because he didn't really need me for this. If Nathan, your father, is not on here with you, you could have just said, hey, I was chatting with Brent Butt online, and he said to say hi to you. You could have just fabricated the whole thing. So I guess it's good that there's an air of authenticity to what you're doing with your father, Stella. Anyway, hello, Nathan. Nice to meet you. Eric S. says, Thunderface should do a metal cover CD. Well, you're really living in the past, Eric. CD, metal. Yeah, Fred has a good voice for metal when he sings that kind of high. He's got a good metal sounding vocal. Let's see. Any other questions? Newhart, Dominus says, yeah, I get Newhart a lot. That's a high praise for me. That was one of my favorite shows. One of my, I think one of the best done sitcoms of all time is Newhart. Somebody's trying to get me to just do their answering machine message, their voicemail escrow message. That's low of you. Forget it. Greg Gallant says, how about those Blue Jackets, Brent? Cup could be wide open. Well, I think the cup is always wide open. But, I would have bet a hell of a lot of money that Tampa Bay was not going to be down 0 games to 2 games into the playoffs. Tampa Bay just seemed to me like a team that cannot be defeated over the course of 7 games. I know anybody can beat anybody in any given night, but Tampa Bay, what did they end up with, 127 points or something on the season? Ridiculous amount of points. They appear to me to be unbeatable, and yet first 2 games of the playoffs, they've lost. I always love when hockey talk gets thrown in here. A couple more questions. Jeff T says, was there a different business considered to be used before Corner Gas, like Corner Bar? No, it was really written. The notion was, what would my life be like had I not got into show business, had I not pursued comedy? And I thought, I just spent my youth hanging out at the gas station. That's probably where I might be working there by now. So that was kind of the impetus behind it. So right from the get-go, it was always gas station. Justice Wild says, will Corner Gas be on Canadian Netflix sometime? No, it streams in Canada on Crave TV, which is owned by Bell Media. They're our partner in this production. So it's doubtful they would give up the rights to Netflix or somebody else here in Canada when they have the rights for their streaming service. So but Crave TV, I don't have to shill for them. I have no deal with Crave TV, but it's worth your money, I think. To get Crave TV, a lot of good stuff on there right now, and they're getting more stuff all the time. So at least check it out. Consider getting Crave TV. Somebody asks here, Nerdy About Cars asks, my daughter wants to know how long it takes to make an episode of a cartoon compared to live action, and they live in Tampa. And we were just talking about Tampa Bay Lightning being a ridiculously powerful hockey team that is down 0 games to 2 right now. Well, it's a difficult question to ask because it's kind of how long an episode takes. But here, the only way we can do it is like this. We're delivering season 2, 11 episodes in 10 months. It took us 10 months to do 11 episodes. So you can extrapolate from that it takes a little less than a month per episode all in. But that really doesn't include all the writing time either. We started writing before we actually had the deal to do season 2 because the response to season 1 was big enough that we all kind of felt, okay, we can feel fairly secure in the knowledge, or we feel fairly safe that they're going for a season 2 based on the number of people that watch. It was the highest rated show on the Comedy Network. So we just dove in and we started writing ahead of time, knowing that we would have a short turnaround. So, anywhere from a month to a month and a half, probably per episode. But we don't do one after the other, really. Everybody's working on different portions of an episode at a different time, so it's hard to really track how long does it take. Moldy Maniac says, I'm going to go and eat some amazing lasagna now. Have a great day, Mr. Butt. Way to throw that in my face. Way to make me just sit here and salivate, knowing that I have no lasagna today. But anyway, thanks for dropping by and checking out. Okay, one more question, then we'll all wrap this baby up and head over. We've gone over we're at 35 minutes now. Although the first 10 minutes of it was me trying to figure out what the deuce is going on. Next time I do one of these live streams, I'll have this all figured out with the new webcam, and the OBS software will be integrated. It's going to be beautiful. Oh, it's going to be, the graphics are going to work. Trust me, I'll get this all working out. One more question. Let's see. Let's see here. Stephen Tredgett says, who are your comic influences? You have an English dry type, Monty Python, Benny Hill. I find those two very different. Monty Python and Benny Hill. I find two very different types of comedy, stylistically. My comedy influences, definitely my family. Well, I just grew up in a household where everybody was trying to make each other laugh. We didn't have a lot. We grew up fairly, I hesitate to use the word poor because we were never hungry. But we certainly didn't have a lot of extraneous stuff. But we had a lot of laughs. We entertained ourselves a lot. My father didn't make a ton of money. There were 7 kids. And so, we entertained ourselves. And so that was my biggest comedic influence. And SCTV, I loved watching SCTV. I grew up with 2 channels, so I didn't get a lot of American stuff. And also, some classic TV that we got, like The Honeymooners was big. I loved The Honeymooners, and I loved Lucy. A little bit of Jack Benny. I got to see Burns and Allen a little bit later. So a lot of the classic stuff, classic golden age of television stuff. And then I used to watch, my first exposure to stand-up comedy was on a afternoon talk show that was originally hosted by Alan Hamill and later hosted by Alan Thicke. Called The Alan Hamill Show, then The Alan Thicke Show. It was an afternoon talk show out of Vancouver, and they would have, about 3 days out of the week, they would have a stand-up comedian on. That was my first exposure to stand-up. I'd never seen that before. And it was watching that show where I decided that is what I want to do. I want to be a stand-up comedian. So that's how my kind of comedic, that was my comedic launching pad. All right, I guess that's it. Now it'll probably take another 12 minutes to figure out how to. See, there's a red button that says end stream. You think I should be able to just click on that and this thing would all wrap up? I don't like my chances. I still think it's going to be more complicated than that. But anyway, like I said, feel free to subscribe if you haven't yet. Subscribe to the ButtPod here on YouTube. Check out the ButtPod audio podcast. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram if you're of a mind to, at Brent Butt, official Brent Butt on Facebook. Just Brent Butt on Twitter and Instagram. And that's it. We'll do this again, maybe in a week, 2 weeks, something like that. And I promise you, I'll have this all figured out. I thought I had it figured out. I was so happy the graphics and everything were working. Somehow I don't have YouTube and OBS synced up properly or linked together properly. Anyway, at least you can see and hear me. And we'll do this again soon. All right, I'm going to click the end stream button. Wish me luck. Are you sure you want to end stream?